Hi guys, Andy off Mad Dad. So 3 short game shots, which if you master, will definitely take shots off your scores. So let's give it a go. Right guys, so short game shot number 1, we definitely want to master is the basic chip and run. This will probably make up 90% of your shots in and around the green. And the technique is really simple. The setup is really simple to set up. So if we can get this technique right, if we can get the setup right, it becomes a really simple and effective shot. In most situations, we'll be able to use this. So in terms of setup for the chip and run, all I have my back feet 1 club width apart, so really narrow stance, flare open my left foot. I put 80% of my weight into my left or my lead side. Next important part is that the shoulders are level to the slope of the ground we're playing on. We don't want too much shoulder tilt. Too much shoulder tilt will lead to bottoming out before the ball, and we want to hit a nice little descending blow onto the ball so we can control launch, control distance and spin. So also in terms of setup, I like to get a little bit taller, closer to the ball, flat lead wrist, and from here we're just going to pivot round that lead foot, neutral face, and what I like to feel is that my tricep stays with my chest. From here I use my left hip release, so I don't let the club release. So from here, that's releasing the club. If I use this, my left hip release, so tricep stays attached to the chest. That's my finish point, and the chest keeps turning. So setup done, an effective way for me to control my distance in summer conditions. So on here, we've got 28 yards to this pin. So in terms of distance control, once we've mastered the setup and the technique, I use the same motion, feel the same momentum. In summer condition, for my gapping, I use my 7-iron, 9-iron gap wedge. You might want to use the evens. You might go 8-iron pitching wedge, even down to a 6-iron. But for me from here, so for 7-iron, I know that this, with the same tempo, will land a quarter, roll out 3/4. For my 9-iron, it's going to land a third, roll out 2/3. And for my gap wedge, it's going to land halfway, roll out the other half. So here, 28 yards. I've got my 9-iron here. So 1/3 is 9 yards. Roll out the rest. So get the setup in play. Land this just where that second leaf is. There you go, it's landing on that leaf. It's a little bit uphill, so it's just going to finish just a tad short, but it's left me a little 3-footer up the hill, so that's the 9-iron. So as I said, with the distance control, I get my 7-iron. So here it's going to chase a little bit further, add a bit more ball speed. So here for 28 yards, if you do the maths, so a quarter is 7. So this, I want to land this around 7 yards, and it'll roll out to 28 yards. So again, exactly same setup, level shoulders, pivot around that lead side, land it. Well, this here is literally just 3-4 foot onto the green, so a little bit tougher. There you go, slight little duff as well, so I missed my landing point by about 18 inches. The sole of the club has helped me there, so I've not been digging. So let's try and get a better strike on that one. Keep the weight on the left. So that's exactly where I want to hit it, really nice crisp. You can see it's run out from there, a little bit of moisture in the green, but it's run out about 2-3 foot past the pin, but it's pitched exactly where I wanted to. So 3 foot onto the green, which is 7 yards from here. It's rolled out to 28, 29 yards. So we would take that. So my gap wedge, this is my 50 degree. This is going to land halfway. Try and roll it halfway out, same setup. There you go. It's gone exactly pin high, it's just gone with the slope, pitched it halfway. So that's the low one, guys, the chip and run. No excuse not to have a good setup and the technique. Then it's just a little bit of practice to dial in your speeds, dial in those distances, use 7-iron, 9-iron, gap wedge. So that's the low one. Go practice that one, guys, and that will shave shots off your score for sure. Right guys, so we've done the low flight. Next up is the mid flight. So on here, where I've used my left hip release, this one is the belt buckle release, and we're adding a bit of bounce, using the lofts to come in mid flight. Still got plenty of spin on it. So in terms of setup here, I use a slightly wider stance. I don't stack my weight as much on the left hand side, because on here I don't mind to bottom out just before the ball, because we've got to use the bounce. Bounce is your friend, so use the wedge. This is my 54 degree. Use the club what's got plenty of bounce on there, especially when we've got the green light. So most of the time we're going to miss the green, these semi-rough lies, different lies. I've done videos in the past which I'll link before. The number one thing to do around short game, we really have to assess the lies first, but I won't go into that much detail on this one. So check out those videos and we can see there, you can see in that video how we can read the lies, whether the grass is going with the ball, against it, it's sat down, it's semi-buried, it's on the top. So that's more detail in the video, what I'll link in the video description. So this one is just the basic belt buckle release, mid-flight. We've got a decent enough lie where we can get a bit of the bounce and get the club to go underneath the ball. As I said, in terms of setup, a little bit wider stance. I'm not stacking it on the left side. A little bit of cupping where we had a flat wrist for the chip and run. A little bit of cupping because on the way back, I'm going to let my left hand cup a little bit, add loft to it. And then the key here is once I've turned, on the way down, there's no hand drive, there's no grab down. I'm almost letting it drop down, feel let the gravity go. So as we pivot, it drops, the loft is still on the club, and that's when we let the belt buckle release, let the club head go. Use that bounce to go under the ball, going to come out mid-flight. So the key here is to feel that little pause in space. Yeah, push it slightly, come out really soft on there. Just grabbed a bit in the lie. Let's give us a little bit more. So again, that bounce, I've hit about an inch behind the ball there. Plenty of spin on there. Just pitched it past the pin. So that's mid-flight. Just wait. Belt buckle release. There we go, finish on a nice one. So we've done low flight, mid flight, onto the third, emergency, flop shot. Right guys, short game shot, number 3, the high one. So as Dan would say, this is for emergencies only. So if we have to go high, we've got to get this up. We can make this a little bit simpler by using the bounce and the release. If we've got the lie, if we've got a bare lie, that's when the more expertise shots come in, which you can see on other videos. We might go toe down, chop across it, but again, that's on the other video. So for here, we've got an okay lie. There's a bit of grass. We can feel that we can get the club to go underneath the ball. So for me to play a simpler flop shot, easy for me to say, is instead of the belt buckle release through finish, which is here, this is where I use the right hip release. So I really throw my right hand. So it feels that from here, throwing that right hand, feels like the club overtakes, which from here, throw the right hand. So the finish is pointing right hip. So as I said, we're going to use that bounce. So all I do, I'm going to play this more off my front foot. Wider stance on here. I can hit an inch, 2 inch behind because I've got a little bit of grass. So play it almost like a bunker shot. Wider stance, take back, let the club open, let the club face open. Again, from here, as it comes, I'm really going to throw that right hand as I turn my chest to target, just to play like a bunker shot from this nice lie. But 58 degree, lob wedge out for emergencies, throw that right hand at it. Super simple if we've got the lie. So this one again, this is semi-buried. So still gonna throw my right hand at this, weight on the left. I've got 80% here on my left hand side. It stays there into my left foot. Chest to target, slam dunked. Pew. So guys, that's the high shot. Emergency shots only, plus we have to have an okay light, but throw that right hand. High shot, made easy, guys. Right guys, hope you enjoyed that video and it was useful. Let me know in the comments if you've been away, give it a go for yourself. So for the free shots, definitely master the chip and run. Once you've mastered that one, move on to the mid-flight. Then once you've mastered that, move on to the high flight one, which you can impress your mates with more. Everybody wants to hit that flop shot. Right, hope you enjoyed that, guys. Until next time.